And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, February 2nd. I am Josh Engleman here to break down a 7-game NBA slate, a little bit bigger than we normally see on a Thursday, but I'm cool with it. Whatever gets yesterday away from me, and I guess the day before that too. Got to Naz Reid, didn't matter for me at all. Hope you had Tari Eason yesterday. 19 minutes, like 50 fantasy points or something crazy. Was clearly a Fred VanVleet day. Did not have that nearly as much as I would have liked to, but what are you going to do? Anxiously awaiting getting to the strategy show to see how Dez didn't like playing Naz Reid yesterday, even though that was obvious for everything. I don't know if you saw my Twitter, folks, but I had 69% Rudy Gobert when he got ruled out. So lots of late swaps had to happen at that point. Didn't work out all that well. Just in general, yesterday, I said it to Adam at the beginning of the day where it either felt like a day where all of my decisions would go right and it would be highly profitable, or the opposite. I would just miss. And yesterday was a miss for sure, for everything. And that's just, you're going to see that happen from time to time on those slates where, at least pre-lock, we didn't have anything. Everything was flat. You were getting so much ownership going into like the Jalen Noels of the world. Guys that just like shouldn't have been plays at all yesterday, but it was just a testament of what we actually had available to us for the day. Now, we're on to another one. 7 games here today, one of which seems like it probably won't have fantasy options, barring any injury news. It's an interesting slate. We should get some value for Golden State. It's looking like they're going to have most of the people out for today. They are 11.5-point dogs in Denver right now. Very surprised to see them shake it out like that, but I really, really didn't see that one coming. And I'm sure they're pretty pissed off that they dropped the front end of their back-to-back in Minnesota last night. We got Boston just beating the piss out of Brooklyn. It was 46-16 at the end of the first quarter. At one point in time, Boston had made like 4 less shots than the Nets had taken at one. Like, it was just truly, truly wild stuff. I am very excited to drink my coffee. I had like restorative sleep. I feel good, but I desperately want to still be asleep. Unfortunately for me, I got this contenders and strategy show, so I'm not leaving this seat until like 11 a.m. But what are you going to do? It's fun anyway. We're going to have some fun for today. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already, to the 52 of you that are here at the tip of this show. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything else goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You're getting contenders updates and prize picks, which for the first day didn't go well on prize picks yesterday. I'm not surprised. Yesterday was a weird one. I'm happy to put it in the rear view. Let's move it on to Thursday with this. Coffee is here. Really excited for it. I went mocha this morning. Needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. Didn't want to go to the vanilla one, so we went mocha. Going to be a good day. So I got the coffee ready for you guys. We got the rise and grind here. That's what everybody's doing. 56 of you are here to rise and grind. That is how we approach every single slate. Cheers to you guys. Good luck today. Let's get it done. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Juice box knocking on the door there. That's a good finish. Congrats. By the way, shout out to BetMGM. You guys know the drill at this point in time. We're going to talk about them in a bit. You can see the banners if you want to jump the gun and just go do it. But we will talk about them prior to running our crunches at the end of the show. Hippopotamus, good morning. Let's change up the view. Let's get it started. First up, the Los Angeles Lakers. Not a team that we typically talk about early in a show, but the Los Angeles Lakers are 1.5-point favorites in Indiana, 240 total. Lakers have Probable tags on Pat Bev and Anthony Davis. Q tag on LeBron James. Stop me if you've heard that before. Austin Reeves still out. So for the Lakers, since we're getting Pat Bev back, we need to make slight tweaks to the rotation. So we're going to get Max Christie out of there. We're going to cut Lonnie Walker's minutes out of there. Russ's minutes look fine at 29. I don't have anything I really want to... I mean, I guess AD was able to play 32 minutes in regulation again. Let's look at that quickly. So AD, if he doesn't play overtime, would have played 32 minutes. They're running him on that stagger rotation in the first quarter, but not the second half. They staggered LeBron in the second half as well. I don't really see anything. I don't see any like natural spots that he would pick up a bunch of time, but I'm going to say that he can do 33 minutes. Thomas Bryant, I think, is just going to be the straight backup. Did they play alongside each other at all? AD at 36.9, Thomas Bryant 16.1, 53 on the dot. Okay, I'm not going to project them to play alongside each other any longer. So then we're going to get 30. Let's see. LeBron would have been at 38 minutes. No. Yeah, 38 minutes here. 39 minutes here. I'm going to stick to 36 on LeBron because he's LeBron. And then we get, 12 minutes of Rui Hachimura at the 4 at a minimum. Seems like Troy Brown just keeps playing. It's getting to be kind of interesting. We got to get Bev back in. I mean, Bev had played 30 plus minutes in 3 out of his last 4. Now, one of those games had no AD, no LeBron. One of those games had no AD. But, I mean, I don't want to go any lower than 28 to Pat Bev. That leaves me 27 minutes for more minutes for Rui, who played 40. He played full-on starter minutes. Do we assume... I mean, they won. Rui was +4 in 40 minutes. Do we assume that they go back to the Pat Bev starting lineup? I think I do. And it obviously doesn't matter right now. We're going to know this. Do we think that Rui is going to start over Troy Brown? That's where the question becomes. Because we've got two options. We're either going to get Rui starting over Troy Brown, at which point Troy Brown's going to play significantly less minutes, and Rui is then going to, I would guess, play legit starter minutes. I think they're going to start Rui. They have no incentive to start Troy Brown. Here's the real way to look at it, I think. As I pull up Troy Brown. Troy Brown is real bad. Unequivocally not good. And has no future for the Lakers. I mean, we're talking about a guy that he's shooting 3.5 threes a game. He's a 35% three-point shooter. He's not going to be out there for any other major reason. I don't believe he's on any sort of contract that matters. Yeah, like he's on a minimum. I think they're going to start. I think they're going to start Rui, and he's going to play big minutes. I think we're going to see 30 minutes a game out of Rui, and then, I mean, I think the best that we're going to hope for is like 20 minutes out of Lonnie Walker and like 15 out of Troy Brown. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assume that Rui Hachimura is now starting for the Lakers at the 3. Why not? I mean, at this point in time, they have more to invest in Rui than they do in Troy Brown. Let's see. How does Darko project them as shooters? Just take one quick look. take a quick look. So, come on, Darko. There we go. Historical trajectory, 3-point percentage. Troy Brown and Rui. So, slight lean towards Troy Brown. And that's probably right now as well, which is kind of crazy. Not a huge separation. Yeah, I'm gonna assume they start Rui. Why not? No reason for them not to. And just so we're clear here, it also doesn't matter. I can't imagine either of these guys are going to matter. Troy Brown's going to need to play 36 minutes a game to be fantasy relevant. So as we look at the Lakers, I don't really think that I'm going to have to make any rate changes. Let's put games where LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis all played. That's really the only qualifier I need here. And what I'm looking to do is just simply grab Pat Bev's usage rate in that scenario. Pat Bev is at 11.5% usage, so not ideal. Rui Hachimura has played 86 minutes so far with those guys, 15.5% usage rate. I don't have any real changes to make to that. I'm just going to assume that that is what we're getting out of the Lakers, which I'm sure means that I'm not going to get to LeBron. However, let's not forget, if this pricing has rebounded at all, Indiana is a great team to play. They are fourth currently in my pace metric, and I want to say they were a mid-tier defense. It's been a while since I've checked back in. Yeah, 24th in defensive rating, which also bums me out for Miles Turner, but he doesn't exactly have a ton of help around him. Big news here for the Indiana Pacers. We're getting the return of Tyrese Halliburton. The NBA is just better when Tyrese Halliburton is available. So I got to gut this whole rotation and start it over. It's great that we're getting Halliburton back. If you don't like Tyrese Halliburton, you don't like anything. Now, he was out with, was that an elbow injury? I thought it was like a hamstring. Now I don't remember. Now I got to look it up. Indiana, Halliburton. What was that injury? Let's see. Elbow and knee. Okay. I don't know which one's more problematic. Now, the question becomes, how many minutes do we think Tyrese Halliburton is playing today? I'm going to say 30. Clearly don't have a great feel there. We're going to grab TJ McConnell, put him in as the straight backup. That I feel comfortable with. We're going to get Miles Turner straight away in for his 31. And then looks like they went back to Isaiah Jackson. So we're going to go 17 to Isaiah Jackson. We're going to get Aaron Nesmith in at the 4. He's going to be his minutes have rebounded a little bit. Let's go to 26 on Nesmith. Assuming we get Nembhard and Healed, I guess we get Nembhard in for, I'm going to say 26 on Nembhard, 33 for Healed. The rest of this should fill itself out, I'm guessing. Chris Duarte, I would imagine, is just going to go back to not playing a ton. There's also O'Shea Brissett, who doesn't play a ton. Let's get O'Shea Brissett in for 16 minutes. Who do we have left? Mathurin is going to need, I assume he continues to play about 30. That leaves me 13 minutes for Duarte in my eyes. He was barely playing earlier in the season. So not that that's going to matter at all. Now, we do got to grab rates because this entire team is different when Tyrese Halliburton is steering this ship. It's just great to have him back. So let's say in games where Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner have both started, because that's sort of the vibe you're looking for out of this team. Let's get a coffee sip in. Good God, that's good. Okay. Oh, that's a much bigger sample. I felt like he was out longer than he was. That's a much bigger sample than I was expecting. Just going to add Buddy Hield to that starting list too. Everybody else can fall into place after that. It's not a huge difference in sample. Got to stretch his back out. Oh, maybe I can get a good crack in. A little bit. I remember when my back used to crack like crazy. Not just, those days are long gone. All right, let's get the rates in. Aaron Nesmith, 717 minutes, 17 and a quarter usage rate. Andrew Nembhard, in games where Tyrese Halliburton has started, Nembhard is at a 12.8% usage rate. Go to 13.5. Yeah, Jones hurt, Sohan hurt, Grant hurt. I mean, I had unders on Dame. Josh Hart was awful. Jeremy Grant got hurt, and Yusuf Nurkic got hurt. Felt like Dame was predestined to get that. Mathurin, mostly off the bench, 25% usage rate. Dude just maintains that no matter what the scenario is. 22 in for Buddy Hield. Miles Turner is at 21. And then finally, we get Halliburton in at just shy of 24. Now, the assist rate is where everything changes, because when Tyrese Halliburton's on the floor, dominates the ball. We're going to go 14-2 on the assist rate. I assume everybody... Nembhard, I guess I'll have to check out too. Yeah, his drops pretty considerably. Mathurin doesn't have it. Buddy Hield doesn't have it, and normally doesn't either. Miles Turner, not that guy. Rebounding would be the final setup. Miles Turner, 10.5. Give him a slight bump. Everybody else is kind of neutral. Nesmith, no. All right, that's game one. Got game one in the books. Going to be hard to go to Halliburton at 8,800 on DraftKings. Going to be equally as hard to go to him on FanDuel at 9,100. But I do like going to Indiana because this game is great for fantasy. Lakers defense isn't great. Indy's isn't great. I mean, Lakers defense on the season is 21st. This is the 5th fastest team and 4th fastest team. A lot of possessions to go around. So I don't mind going to Hield. I like going to Miles Turner at 7,300. Aaron Nesmith is 3,600. Now, his minutes could be very weird, but got up to 32 on Sunday, 27 on Friday. Those are two numbers that are both higher than what I've got him projected for. I like him as a value option. You can roll the dice on Isaiah Jackson as a backup center if you think something happens to Miles Turner. We got this team back now. For the Lakers, I'm really curious if pricing has changed because they were incredibly unrosterable 2 nights ago. Okay. AD is 9,900. That is a fantastic price for Anthony Davis. I think that he's going to look very good today if you want to pay out. LeBron, 10.7 is fine. It's a little overpriced for having everybody here. Schroeder for 5,500 isn't like the worst idea in the world because he gets the minutes. If I'm right and Rui's starting, 5,100 for 30 minutes of Rui is okay. That's the best that I can say for him. Okay. AD stands out. He stands out even more on FanDuel, 9,700, and you get power forward eligibility. All right, so that's game one. We move to game two now. Memphis, 5-point dogs in Cleveland, 226 total. For the Grizzlies, they are on a back-to-back. So that's actually incredibly difficult to want to project. There's basically no way that Danny Green is going to play that back-to-back, so I'm just going to take his minutes straight away. We don't yet know the status of John Konchar. I'm going to assume that John Konchar now plays. We only got 25 and a half minutes out of Desmond Bane, so I need to look at that rotation. Memphis lost last night, and they started that game on a 17-3 run. Wow. 17-4 run to close out the fourth quarter. Grizzlies went 2 of 10 from the field. Blazers went 6 of 7. Looks like Simons was pretty good in that time, and Lillard. Bad loss there for the Grizz. Okay. We also got Tillman as the starter yesterday. He was really good. Didn't work out for him, though, but played 28 minutes. Got 17 minutes out of Brandon Clark. I feel pretty good about projecting 27 and 19 on Tillman and Clark after this happened, so there's also that. So Desmond Bane, no foul trouble there. Picked up 1, picked up 3, picked up his 4th in the third quarter, played the entire fourth quarter, got to 25 and a half minutes. So I feel like Desmond Bane was going to play like 30 minutes and just didn't. I assumed Desmond Bane would have closed the second quarter because they ran him on a stagger with Morant, but he picked up his third foul, and I think they just took him off. So I'm going to take 1 minute away and give him 31, but I think we're going to see Bane today. Well, now the real question is, do we see Bane today? Or does he sit out the back-to-back? I don't have a great answer to that. So for right now, the rotation that I have in for today is the same rotation that we got yesterday, save for I'm taking Danny Green out. I'm just going to assume they're not playing Danny Green on a back-to-back. Whether you give those minutes to John Konchar or David Roddy, it's not going to make a difference. Jaren Jackson played 34 minutes again. Is this guy just going to start playing a little bit more? Because I don't want to project him for a little bit more. I know how that ends. I'm going to leave him in for 28. Oh, man, I can't. I got to give him 29. I'm going to take 1 away from Brandon Clark. We'll get Jackson up to 29. It's all stay the same. So we go over to the Cleveland side, which I think we're not even going to have to touch. Cavs. Everybody's available. This is a team that doesn't really deviate all that much. We did end up getting a little bit of Chetty. Oh, yeah. Kevin Love ended up being a late scratch. So I have Kevin Love still in because that Kevin Love news didn't matter to me. I'm going to leave Chetty Osman out. Dean Wade got up to 20 minutes. Interesting to see. Isaac Okoro played 25. So at the very least, I'm going to take a minute away from Okoro, give that to Wade. We got 28 minutes out of Karis LeVert, so I feel right there. Rubio played 17, so I feel comfortable there. How can I get Dean Wade more minutes? Because I'm not going to take him from Garland, obviously, or Mobley. It would have to come from Kevin Love in some way. And I don't know if they're going to do that. So pretty comfortable with what I've got in here right now. Don't really have any changes to make for Cleveland. This is just standard Cleveland. And they look really good. Let's not forget, while Memphis may be great defensively, they are the fastest team in the league right now. I'm all about getting to some of these Cleveland pieces. In particular, $6,300 Jared Allen, $8,100 Donovan Mitchell, $7,800 Darius Garland. These guys are not priced correctly. These Cleveland Cavaliers guys are not priced for this matchup. I love the main 4 dudes here. Let's check this out. So Darko has rolling averages of power or of personal fouls per 100 possessions. Has Jaren Jackson been trending down? He has been. He used to average, it was 6.5 in his rookie year. The beginning of 2020, it did get down sub 6. And he's slowly but surely coming back down. So right now he's at like 5.8, something in that neighborhood. Look, that's better. That's better. He's getting there. There's no other foul rate things in here, right? No. Getting there. All right. In summary, play the Cleveland Cavaliers big four of Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, and play them a lot. Incredible spot for Cleveland. For Memphis, not an incredible spot. They get the opposite end of this matchup. Cleveland is dead last. So this is the ultimate pace matchup. Cleveland dead last at 30. Memphis number 1. Cleveland is 7.5 possessions slower on average. So if Tillman is starting, we're going back to Tillman at 4,200. He's just a really good point per dollar play. When he starts, he plays like 28 minutes a game. To me, that is where you have to be. By all means, play Jaren Jackson or play Ja Morant. I just don't think they're going to look all that great. I certainly like the guards on the opposite side better relative to their salary. It's just a better matchup. Next up, this is the one that's going to be the stink bomb. Miami Heat, 1.5 point favorites. In New York, 213 total. That's 27 points less than that Lakers-Indiana game. Yeah, Bert, I would not be surprised at all if Bane sits, at which point you'd be able to unlock at least a little bit more of Dillon Brooks. And Morant would look better. But on the back-to-back, I can't check that. Like, we just have to wait. I think we're going to get no Bane. I'd be surprised if we get anybody else, but no Bane makes the most sense. Okay, so we need to think about who's going to be the backup center. I mean, I guess it's just going to be Dedmon again. Orlando Robinson broke his thumb, so my guess is that we're just getting Dedmon straight back into the rotation for Miami. We got a doubtful tag on Victor Oladipo. We got a Q tag on Gabe Vincent. Yurtseven and Orlando Robinson are obviously hurt. Jovic still hurt. Duncan Robinson still hurt. Jamal Cain is evidently with the G League. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they really only have 9 guys for today, unless you think they're going to dust off Haslam, which I don't think they're going to do. So there's going to be a lot of minutes to go around here. I got Kyle Lowry in for 29. I'm not even sure that I should, but I got to leave it in for right now. We saw Tyler Hero get up to 37.5 on Tuesday. I see no scenario where he's not playing 36 today, given their makeup. Max Strus, I think, has to play like 24. Caleb Martin played 34 on Tuesday, and by all accounts is going to have to do that again today. I'm going to go 33 to Caleb Martin. I can get a little bit more time of Gabe Vincent. I've got Butler in for 33. He just doesn't really deviate. And then we're just going to throw 15 minutes to Haywood Highsmith at the backup 4. I don't have any rates that I really need to change. Like Victor Oladipo doesn't really dictate anything too big here. I'm comfortable leaving Max Strus in where I have him. We're not going to play Haywood Highsmith, Gabe Vincent, or Dwayne Dedmon. So to me, these rates are all going to stay the same. Then we'll go to New York. Everybody that's normally available for the Knicks is available. Let's hope that RJ Barrett can play a little bit more than 27 minutes, because that dude really screwed me over on Tuesday. 37 minutes for Brunson. To me, that's correct. 28 minutes for Quickly. Played in the OT. Hard to want to go higher than that mark. I got 35 in for Grimes. To me, that's correct. I got 36 for Barrett. I mean, this dude is just so live to play so many more than that. That's the problem. I'm going to go to 35 on Barrett for my own sanity. 37 for Randall. 28 for Jericho Sims. Did not work out at all. You got 40 out of Isaiah Hartenstein. How bad was it? How bad was the foul trouble, if there was foul trouble? Or was Jericho Sims just himself? He picked up one foul in his first rotation in 7.5 minutes, and then Isaiah Hartenstein played the rest of the first quarter and all of the second quarter. Similarly, Jericho Sims played the first quarter, and then Isaiah Hartenstein never left the floor again. Isaiah Hartenstein checked in the middle of the third quarter on Tuesday, played the rest of the third quarter, the entire fourth quarter, and the entire overtime, which is basically what Quickly did as well. Now, I assume Jericho Sims is going to start once again. I'm going to go 26-22 on their minutes. Having a conversation with Adam during the show will be interesting because I think they're live to go like 30-18 or something, but to Hartenstein, but off the bench. So I don't really have any other changes to make here from a rates perspective, other than I need to confirm Isaiah Hartenstein's usage rate. So in games where Brunson starts, Randall starts, and Barrett starts, but Isaiah Hartenstein did not start, I want to make sure I have Hartenstein's correct rebounding and usage numbers. By the way, we're up to 163 people now. Shout out to everybody that's here. 34 likes, however. That's bad, folks. You guys know that we're trying to keep up that 50-50 split, which means we are 50 likes short of where we need to be right now. If you are here and you have not hit that button yet, please do so. It will help me out a ton. Hartenstein off the bench has 715 minutes, 12.2% usage rate. So basically exactly where I have him. Jericho Sims in this scenario, by the way, is at 7. Good God, dude. This dude just doesn't shoot. All right. So I don't know what to do with RJ Barrett. I'm going to need somebody to explain it to me. How do you project someone like RJ Barrett? A guy with a 26% usage rate, a guy shooting 36% from 3. How many minutes can we expect RJ Barrett to play today? Because at 35, to me, he's the clear best play on the Knicks. And it's not like I have him at some ridiculous fantasy point rate. I got him at 0.96 on DraftKings. Like at 35 minutes, the dude's just going to look good, particularly at a position that's hard to fill. I don't like it, but like I'm going to go back to him. I mean, this is a guy that played 40 minutes last Thursday. There are times where he's just out there. I don't know. Do I take another minute away from him and give it to Quickly? I do probably want to give Quickly one more minute. I got him at 28. I think 29 would be a little bit better. Yeah, look, RJ Barrett looks like the best Knick. I don't know how else to say it. On Miami, okay, these prices are just, the game is more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Tyler Hero, 6,700. I will be going straight back there. I've been getting him a lot lately anyway. That price isn't right. $7,400 Jimmy Butler is a guy that I wouldn't be surprised if I get to. I rarely get to Bam, but 7,900 is not a bad price tag at all. And then Caleb Martin, 4,500. Well, maybe you can get the Caleb Martin game again like we did on Tuesday. You can roll the dice on Lowry and Strus. Barrett will be low owned. I feel safe there. 3 games down. We'll go to the Charlotte Hornets. That's what I'm repping today. Let's not forget we got the LJ on for today. Repping the Hornets. So let's get that on screen. It's too good of a shirt. What do we know for Charlotte here? 6.5 point dogs in Chicago, 236 total. We're in the same boat there, S&P. I had a bundle of Barrett. I think I had like 55 or 60 or something like that. Now I just want to know. That was Tuesday, right? Wasn't it? Was that Tuesday? It was Tuesday. I had 59% RJ Barrett. He was 16% owned. Woof. That's how you lose money. Alrighty, let's go to Charlotte now. And 170 viewers now. We're up to 60 likes. You guys are you getting there. You getting there. Whoever's asleep at the wheel. I know it's early, folks, but it's just a button click. All right, for Charlotte, no Kelly Oubre, no Cody Martin. So same rotation that we've been getting. LaMelo playing massive minutes here. I'm going to bump him back up to 36. I was afraid to go to 36, and that cost me. Rozier in for 36. That's fine. PJ Washington in for 33. I feel okay there. I got 29 in for Mason Plumlee, 19 in for Mark Williams. JT Thor is playing as a nominal backup. I had 27 for Hayward. That's what he played. I had 25 for Jalen McDaniels. That's what he played. And then DSJ I have at 20. I don't really see anything that I would want to change here. It's too many minutes to JT Thor, but like there's no natural place to give them to anybody else. So I could go to 34 on PJ Washington, but I'm not going to. So Charlotte is basically no changes from what we saw. Biscuits, what's going on? We'll go to the Chicago side where no Lonzo, no Javonte Green. Otherwise, we know this rotation as well. No changes here. 37 minutes for DeMar. I got 36 for Vooch. I got 37 for Levine. I guess I just need to go to 37 on Vooch at this point. I'll take another one away from Derek Jones. Is that OT? No. All right, so we've got 26 for Dosunmu. Yes. Wow, they even played Drummond a little bit. That's kind of crazy. I got 31 for Patrick Williams. That feels fine. I guess I want to take a minute away from like Kobe White and Caruso. But it's going to leave me not getting those guys. We'll do 13 for Dragic. No rate changes or anything here for me. So as we look at this game, remember, fantastic spot here for the Bulls. Charlotte third in pace. Bulls are 18th. So big pace up spot. Let us also not forget Charlotte Hornets defense, 25th in the league. Fast-paced team, bad defense. Bulls look good. DeRozan, Vooch, Levine, all priced in the 8K range. I think it's pretty clear that Zach LaVine is the best play of those three because of his position. Shooting guard, small forward is just better than small forward, power forward, or just center. But I don't want to short these guys at all. All three of them are priority plays for today. I don't mind getting to Dosunmu at 3,800. I don't like how much better he looks than Caruso and Kobe White, but it's really just a minutes thing at this point. But don't be surprised to see Caruso or Kobe White just be the guy one day and it not be Dosunmu. But we need to be very clear here. DeRozan, Vooch, and Levine look great. Now, the real expectation is that only one of those three guys hit their target score. So be aware of that you're probably only going to get one of them going for 50. but like they're going to look good. On the Charlotte end, Melo for 9,600. Like he looks good, but it's really hard to project him ahead from like a value perspective ahead of like anything that we just looked at for Chicago. I don't mind Terry Rozier for 7,300 either. I have him relatively low projected, so that could look good. Mark Williams is up to 4K, which largely removes him from any sort of weird like volume value for him. PJ Washington and Mason Plumlee are both fine. Game number 5. New Orleans Pelicans, 4.5-point dogs in Dallas, 225 total. For New Orleans, no Zion, no Dyson Daniels. So I assume we're getting what we got last time out. Now, this team is starting to get pretty confusing. Willie Hernangomez, when CJ and Brandon Ingram sat, we didn't get Willie. He did sneak back into this rotation on Tuesday. Is that real rotation minutes or is that some sort of blowout bullshit? New Orleans lost by 9, and Willie Hernangomez was the first center off the bench. And they didn't play Jackson Hayes at all. Okay. So I'm going to scratch this rotation, start it over. We're going to go straight out of the gate, CJ McCollum, starting point guard, 35 minutes. And then Devontae Graham, direct backup. Joval played 19 minutes. It was not because of foul trouble. He never saw the floor in the fourth quarter. He was minus 15 in the game. This is a dude whose minutes are really difficult to project. I don't even want to give him 24. Like, I don't think 24 is correct. Now, they're willing to play Larry Nance at least a little bit alongside one of those two guys. When did that happen? So, Nance and Willie Hernangomez played a couple minutes alongside each other in the first quarter. Willie Hernangomez came on for Joval in the third quarter, but Nance didn't. So they're mostly keeping those guys away from each other. I am having trouble with this one because there's nothing to stop him from closing. And in a matchup against I think defensively, it's going to be a problem. Because if he's dropping on Luka, they're dead. What's their defensive rating? Pels are 8th in defense. Man, that's wild. Okay. I'm going to go 24 minutes to Joval. I'm going to assume that Willie Hernangomez maintains his spot semi in the rotation and plays 12 minutes. Oh, I can't even... Can I even say 12 minutes? That's where it starts to get tricky. Because then I don't know how to get Larry Nance minutes. I'm going to go 8 minutes to Willie Hernangomez. Nance gets the other 16. And then 7. 7 total. No, I don't... Look, I don't really know how to project these dudes. Maybe I shouldn't be projecting Larry Nance for 23 minutes. Maybe that's the issue. I'll go to 22. Got to go with 22 there, I guess. Clearly, we're not projecting Jackson Hayes in. We got 33 minutes out of Brandon Ingram. Seems like a decent projection for today. We're going to get Herb Jones in for 28, I guess. Seems to be about where he is at this point. Played a ton more on Tuesday. don't really feel like projecting it that way. We'll be a little bit more optimistic. We'll go 29. We also need to get Alvarado in. Go 19 on Alvarado. Najee Marshall played 24. Trey Murphy still played 30, which I think is interesting. I'm going to leave him in for 30. So now I'm missing Najee Marshall. And that's it. That'll be the 10th guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I can't give Najee Marshall 27 minutes. That's too healthy. So I feel like, why did Alvarado play so little? 3 fouls in the second quarter. Didn't pick up any late. Man, that's a weird rotation out of Alvarado. Although maybe it's not. Yeah, I think I'm fine with 19 on Alvarado. I'm going to give 2 more to Devontae Graham just in case. And I'll take those away from Najee Marshall. That gets him down to 25. I think that rotation looks fine. Rates, I know I don't have to change. Those are all correct from the previous game. So let's go to Dallas. For Dallas, yeah, Ross, I agree. It does seem like a Larry Nance closing game. But look, Larry Nance played the entire fourth quarter of that game against the Nuggets on the 31st and still only got to 21 minutes. So I don't know where they come from. Okay, then we hit Dallas. Mavs. No Wood, no Kleba. So we know what we've been getting out of Dallas here. We got 36 minutes out of Luka on Monday after having missed 2 games. Hilarious, by the way. Dallas did pick up that dub. Nothing crazy. You know, they had to make a little bit of a late comeback. Actually did a lot of that with Luka off the floor, which is interesting. We got JaVale in too. What happened there? Was Powell just in aggressive foul trouble? 2, picked up a 3rd. Yeah, basically just foul trouble. Wait. They started the third quarter with JaVale? Anybody watch the Mavs game on Monday? Why did JaVale start the third quarter? I mean, I have to assume that they were going to play JaVale regardless. I think I need to work in 6 minutes for JaVale. I just don't know where they're going to come from. Got Dinwiddie in for 36. Yes. I got Luka in for 37. Yes. 35 for Timmy. That needs to come down. We're going to go to 32. 29 for Reggie Bullock. Seems fine. I mean, what else can we do here? Josh Green in for 28. Could probably make that 29. Dorian Finney-Smith I have in for 35. Dwight Powell I have in for 28. I guess I got to make that 27. Bertans can be the guy that cuts a couple minutes. We'll go to 9 on Bertans so that I can go to 29 on Josh Green. I don't have any rates that I need to change or anything like that. I'm pretty comfortable with what I have in here. Yeah, Mark, no team is interested in JaVale. Yeah, that's not a trade. The Dallas can't trade JaVale without having to put something additional in the package. He could be salary ballast going out, but the Mavs would have to attach an asset to JaVale. Nobody's looking at JaVale. I mean, they can get him for free and then some. JaVale is mostly untradeable. I guess that's the Mavs. I don't have rates to change. So as we look at the Mavs, 12-3 for Luka. Sign me up. I just, there's no way that I could not want to go to this guy if we have enough value. He's too good of a per minute performer. And the minutes are there. I don't mind Dinwiddie. I don't mind Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't mind Josh Green. Dwight Powell for 4,100 is certainly a conversation piece. All of that looks okay. But Luka would be my prized possession here. On the Pellies, look, 7,100 for Brandon Ingram is a very reasonable price tag, as is 5,700 for Joe Val. But you got to be prepared for Joe Val to like not play. How has Joe Val done in previous matchups against Dallas? Played 30 minutes on January 7th. They also played on October 25th, where he played 22. None of those were foul trouble, but seeing that he got to 30 there and was efficient is helpful. Had mostly real minutes most of the time. Look, there's a real ceiling here. Yeah, Ross. Untradeable, but not because he's a must. It's the contract. I mean, he's not in the rotation. I assume, what, 2 more years, right? Yeah, 5-7 for next year. And then a $6 million player option for 24. I mean, that's going to take 2 or 3 seconds to get off of. Look, I'm interested in this Mavs-Pels game more than I thought I was going to be. Murphy looks okay. The roll of the dice is Joe Val. I don't think Nance looks all that good, so I think I can avoid that. I wonder if he'll pull any ownership. All right, 2 to go. Now is where we got to have a real conversation. The Golden State Warriors, as of this moment, are 11.5-point dogs in Denver, 239 total. The expectation is that we're not going to get the starters, which generally means Poole plays and then no one else plays. So, for now, that is how I'm going to project this team. I'm going to assume we get Poole and we don't get anybody else of Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Wiggins. So here we go. Let's just say in games where, how many times has Poole started without Steph and Clay? Steph and Clay have sat 6 games. Jordan Poole has started and played 34 minutes a game in those games. I'm going to go 35. I mean, he played 41 minutes on the most recent Friday. $206 minutes in 6 games where Jordan Poole started and those 2 guys didn't play. So we're going 35 minutes here to Jordan Poole. Actually, I'm going to go 36. I'm going to go 36. I think he's just going to be out there. Next up, I think that we're going to get... All right, well, who started on the 20th? Let's get that correct, too. I mean, I think it's pretty clear to see who it was based on the box score, but we got Poole, Jerome, DiVincenzo, Kuminga, and Looney. Now, Looney ended up playing 32 minutes that day. This is a matchup against Denver. I assume they're going to go to real minutes here against Denver. So I'm going to go... I think Kevon Looney is about to be a really big problem for today. I'm going to go to 28 minutes on Kevon Looney. I assume we're going to get really big minutes out of Jonathan Kuminga. He played 27 that day. They were just sort of scattered. I'm going to say it's 28 for Kuminga. That was Kuminga's first game back. I really wouldn't be surprised to see Kuminga play into the mid-30s here. But that was his first game back that Friday, and he played 27. I'm going to go 28 for right now, and I'll talk through this. Assuming we get Ty Jerome again. Jerome played 41 minutes. I don't want to give Ty Jerome 41 minutes, but I'm going to start with 32. And then we're going to get Dante DiVincenzo, who also played 35 minutes. I'm going to get him in for 32 as well. I'm going to try to be pessimistic first, and then if we have more minutes, I'm going to start throwing them to those guys. So then JaMychal Green. I mean, there's a case to be made that JaMychal Green. We're going to get Wiseman today, aren't we? We're going to have, yeah, we're going to get a decent chunk of Wiseman. I think we're going to get like 16 minutes out of Wiseman at a minimum. If I'm the Warriors, you can't start Wiseman against Jokic. He would eat him alive. I think we're going to see Wiseman play like every minute that Jokic doesn't play. That would be what I'm trying to do. Because you can't put him out there against Jokic. That dude's going to get lost. So I'll give him 14 there. And then we'll say JaMychal Green steps in and plays, the 16 minutes that he normally plays. At which point we then get like pretty legitimate rotation minutes out of Anthony Lamb. And then we got to go, Moody and Baldwin? Would they be the final two guys? Moody for sure. Moody played 14 minutes that Friday. I'll give Moody the backup point guard minutes. That leaves me 20. Okay, so we have more than enough minutes to go around here. I'm going to get Patrick Baldwin in for, a 12-minute rotation. I think saying Kuminga gets 30 is the correct answer. I have a hard time wanting to go too much higher on Ty Jerome. Moody can conceivably soak up a couple extras. That'll have me at 10. We'll go 16. I don't love those Baldwin minutes that I just handed out. I don't think it's going to matter all that much. We're going to need full rate pulls here. So let's just say Steph off, Clay off, Wiggins off, Draymond off. Jordan Poole started. How many minutes do we have? Because it's got to be probably like 150 or 200 at this point. Yeah, some of these guys have played enough. I think it's in my best interest to say that at best, only one of those four guys was on the floor. Because I don't think that changes anything too crazily. They probably don't play a ton of that's perfect. So Jordan Poole, with no more than one of the main four guys on the floor, Jordan Poole has a 35% usage rate. I feel pretty good there, dumping that in at 34.5. Anthony Lamb has played the second most minutes in this scenario. I just don't think that he's going to start, but don't be surprised at all to see Anthony Lamb start today. The fact that he didn't start 2 weeks ago, I'm just going to go with that for now. Let's see. Next up, Kuminga. Kuminga in this scenario. 420 minutes, just over a 20% usage rate. I'm going to leave Kuminga be himself. Dante DiVincenzo is at just shy of 17, so he's mostly himself. I can't imagine Kevon Looney changes all that much. Yeah, he's basically a 10% usage guy in this one. And then Ty Jerome, 376 minutes. He's been a 17% usage rate guy. He's literally just himself. Don't have to touch anybody else's rates. They're not even showing up as options for today. So now we'll go to assist rates. DiVincenzo sees a bit of a bump. Kuminga sees a bit of a bump. Jordan Poole, actually significantly less assists, which shouldn't surprise you at all. Kevon Looney sees a bump. Ty Jerome, same guy. I do also want to see Poole's shooting rates. I'm guessing it's awful. Yeah, 29.5% from three for Jordan Poole in this scenario. And I'm not surprised. I don't think that Jordan Poole creates his own offense all that well. I'm going to cut his three-point rate down for today, too. Yeah, I feel much more comfortable there. I mean, this is a guy that's shooting 13 threes per 100 possessions when those guys are off the floor. Like, he's letting it sail, but he's taking a lot of self-created garbage. And those just don't go in all that well. So, feeling good there. Rebounding probably doesn't matter all that much. I can't imagine, like, DiVincenzo is a little bit more active on the boards. Kuminga, a little bit less so, but like that doesn't make a ton of sense either. I guess he's just probably doing more. Jordan Poole not rebounding. That actually does make sense. Kevon Looney is himself. Ty Jerome is himself. So that's Golden State. Now we go to the Denver side where, oh man, this is just, we got a Q tag on Aaron Gordon, sprained ankle. I'm just assuming that everybody that's normally in for Denver is in. So did they go to Jeff Green at the 5? / Aaron Gordon at the 5? Have we seen the end of the Zeke Naji experience? Is that what I'm seeing here? When did they play last? Tuesday, 31st, Denver. Zeke Naji played one rotation for 3.5 minutes at the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second quarter. And then they went to Case. Yeah, they went to Jeff Green at the 5. Okay. I think we've seen the end of Zeke Naji. So I'm going to say that he can still get one rotation, give him 6 minutes. I'm going to give Jeff Green the other 7. We'll get him to 19. And I'm going to say that Christian Brown is now a part of this one to a degree. We also only got 5 minutes out of Bones Highland, who I don't believe is going to be long for this team. I'm going to say that Bones is just simply the straight backup now at the 3. And then I'm going to go 16 minutes to Christian Brown. I think that's going to be a thing. We'll go 14 and 15. It won't matter, but rates all stay the same for Denver. I don't have any changes to make there. It will be interesting to see if we get any changes or anything here. If Aaron Gordon happens to be out, you know, that's a benefit to Bruce Brown. I'm sure I'm going to like MPJ because I always do. So, for Denver, love Jamal Murray at 7,700. It's just a really nice price tag. Really like Nikola Jokic here today. 11-3 or 11-6. Center's loaded as it usually is, but I'm more than okay to get to Jokic. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Golden State is the second fastest team in basketball. Denver's 23rd, so you're picking up some pace here. But now the biggie, the piece that we really need to look at. What does Golden State actually look like? By the way, if Gordon plays, you can play him. If Porter plays, I like him for 5,700. I just like Denver in general. But this is the big one. This is what everybody's going to be watching for. 216 people in the house right now. And we've got 86 likes. So what we really want to do is be at a little over 100. So if you're here and you haven't done it yet, let's try to get this up to 50-50. Let's get that number over 100 if we can. Anything over 100 is all gravy on my end. Golden State Here's what we got. So to me, the easiest guy that you can get to, assuming he starts, is Ty Jerome. Now, doesn't have to start, doesn't have to play 32 minutes. We're talking about a guy that isn't normally in the rotation. So what we really mean is that the easiest guy to want to get to here is Jordan Poole. 6,500. He's going to take every shot. You'll feel the safest with Jordan Poole. Ty Jerome is exceptional value. Ty Jerome is the reason that getting to Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic is going to be easy. But he's not the only one. Power forward eligible $3,700 Jonathan Kuminga is my second favorite option here. I think Kuminga will ultimately be my favorite play from Golden State. Just thinking it through because of the position. By all means, go to Dante DiVincenzo. His price is already at a spot where, he normally plays 26 minutes. 4,600 for Kevon Looney, assuming we're right and he plays 28 minutes. Love the price on Looney. Will be a very popular center. I love the idea of getting to Golden State. That's not going to be a minority opinion. These prices are the reason. Everybody that, if the starting lineup is the same as it was this past Friday, or 2 Fridays ago, or 3 Fridays ago, whenever that was, all of those guys are going to look good. Anthony Lamb is really the only other guy that I think is viable off the bench. But anybody that starts is going to look good. If they happen to start Moody, I'd be shocked if they started Wiseman. That seems implausible today. Wouldn't be shocked if they started JaMychal Green. Don't think that's going to happen. Whoever starts looks great. And again, this is assuming that those 4 guys are out. We don't know that yet, but you got to go here for sure. And I would say that Ty Jerome, Kuminga, Anthony Lamb, probably doesn't matter what the outcome of this game is either. Wild one. That game right there, the Golden State Warriors, they changed this entire slate. Everything changes. And then we close it out. Late night hammer. This is actually a fantastic game. Clippers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Clippers are 4.5-point dogs in Milwaukee, 231 total. What do the Clippers' main lineups look like? How good have they been with Kawhi and Paul George on the floor? I assume it's fantastic, but I haven't really dug into it. Because their main lineup, I assume, isn't a lineup with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in it. I just don't think they've played enough minutes together, but maybe they have at this point. All right, it is. So, but they have Reggie Jackson then in at starter. That's interesting. So they're a minus 1.1 team for the year, but if we put Kawhi on and Paul George on, if we want to start thinking about this team from a playoff perspective, when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are on, with any combination of anyone, they are plus 11, a 121 offensive rating, and a 110 defensive rating. Now, the lineup with Mann, Morris, and Zubats hasn't been great. Reggie Jackson in there in place of Mann has been better. But that's kind of a weird one because they've been better defensively than the Mann version, but the Mann version is a better defensive lineup than the Reggie Jackson version. It doesn't matter what those numbers say to me. That we just know that Reggie Jackson is not driving a better defense. A lot of these lineups that are positive are with Reggie Jackson at the helm. That's plus 5. This is plus 30, plus 41, plus 57. The Wall lineup was really bad. This Wall lineup's better. A lot of those Reggie Jackson lineups look good. That's fascinating. Can they go out at the deadline and get a better version of Reggie Jackson? Is that the play? Will be interesting to see. I just want to take a look at the Clippers. This is a fantastic game. Assuming everybody's in, we're about to find out. Q tag on Marcus Morris. Now, Morris has missed the last 4 games and basically most of a fifth. John Wall's still out. So really the only thing that we can do is just project Marcus Morris to be back in this game. So I'm going to take Covington out. I'm going to take Moses Brown out. That's going to give me 27 minutes. Nope, that's Luke Kennard. Now I got Luke Kennard playing 100 minutes. So that's 27 minutes then for Marcus Morris. I got 29 for Zubats. For all the Zubats haters, he was obviously great on Tuesday. 24 minutes for Mann seems about right. 20 for Reggie Jackson. Got back up to 27. I don't know, man. Reggie Jackson might start to creep back up again. Let's go 21 and 23 here. Got 20 in for Kennard. Just doesn't seem like they want to give him much more. 25 for Norm Powell. Yeah, he went nuts on Tuesday, right? He had a big-time scoring first half. There's somebody I could take those minutes from. I got 24 for Batum. That feels about right. 35 for George. 36 for Leonard. I'm going to bump both of those guys. I'm going to go 21. Or I'm going to go 37 Kawhi, 36 Paul George. That'll let me take 2 minutes away from Kennard. I don't have any other changes that I want to make for this team. Rates all stay the same. So that's the Clippers. And then we'll go to Milwaukee. For the Bucks. S&P. Do you want the one that I think would be crazy that I think they can pull off? I'd love to see them take a shot at Fred VanVleet. You bring Fred VanVleet in, I think the Clippers are the clear favorites to win the title. They have the matching salary. They're starting to be able to trade some picks. You want to get weird with that one? Ballmer has no problem eating money because you'd have to re-sign him, but that team gets really, really, really scary if you bring in someone like VanVleet. It's like they have the ability to do it now. All right, for the Bucks, Giannis is probable. Bobby Portis still out. Marshawn Beauchamp is probable. Last game out, we got 20 minutes out of Middleton. That would have been the 31st. Middleton. He's just playing these like short bursts. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't think you're crazy there, S&P. But they're just not going to let him rip like that. You know, like I'm comfortable going to like 22. But they're being very, very diligent about how he's getting his minutes. And they're bringing him in across that first quarter, second quarter mark, so he doesn't really get in any situation where he's playing more than 5 at a time. I don't think that I can go any higher than 22. But I like where your head's at least. 33 for Drew. I'm going to make be 34 in a matchup like this. That's just kind of a no-brainer. 30 for Brook. Seems fine. I'm going to go to 34 on Giannis because of the matchup. 15 for Wes Matthews. War is the guy that's losing minutes. Joe Ingles, 24 is probably too high. 28 for Grayson Allen. Seems fine. 30 for Connaughton seems fine. Let's take 1 more minute away from Ingles. What's Middleton's usage rate so far this season? I know it's like weird. Played in game. Middleton, Giannis, Drew. Chris Middleton has played 202 minutes. He's got a 25% usage rate. Pop that bad boy in. I'll stay the same for the rest of this team. Let's close it out. Milwaukee. Look, 11-9 for Giannis. I think he's probably my third favorite pay up. I prefer Luka and Jokic to Giannis. Now, I think Giannis is easier to get to because of the power forward eligibility. So that probably makes them pretty close. It probably makes Jokic be third, but it's more like Luka 1, Giannis 2A, Jokic 2B. Yeah, 5K for Middleton. I don't really see it for today. You got to just expect something to change. Look, the Bucks are not going to push him. They have no reason to. It's just not in their best. If Chris Middleton isn't available for the playoffs, the Bucks cannot win the NBA title. Full stop. So we'll see. Drew Holiday for 8,300 is fine. For the Clippers, this is probably three guys. It's Kawhi at 9,800. It's Paul George at 9K. So we saw that price tag come up. And then it's Ivica Zubac at 5,300. I don't see a way to go to anybody else. But that is our show. We are through 7 games. We're up to 237 people. Is it just me or is this show growing? Are we getting more people by the end of this? Happy to have you guys. Happy to have the 100 likes. Always good to see that as well. It's just, everything's good, including this show. Now, it's time to run some crunches. We want to check out optimal lineups on both FanDuel and DraftKings. So we're going to do that right now. Prior to doing that, however, we got to talk about BetMGM, sponsor of this show. There's a link in the description of this video. You can get 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum, well over $100 value, and first bet insurance up to $1,000, which means that if you're, for whatever amount you have of your first bet, if you put $1,000 down and it loses, you get it back in bonus bets into your account. You got to use this promo code PLATINUMSUB. You see that on the screen. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen as well. We've got plenty of sports betting tools, whether that's BetPro or Odds Shopper, a lot that you guys can check out. You guys just have to be 21 or over. You got to be in a legal betting state. You got to be new to BetMGM. Please be responsible, folks. If you've got a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, FanDuel Optimals. Let's lead it off. Yeah, I'm gonna get to Luka before I get to Jokic and Giannis, but they're all gonna look interesting. Here we go. First one up. Optimals. 338.01. That is the optimal lineup by 0.78. Jordan Poole, Ty Jerome, Zach LaVine, Tyler Hero, Paul George, Kuminga, Tillman, AD, and Vooch. I love this lineup because it didn't go to the ultra payups. 9,700 AD, you get the value of Tillman, assuming he starts. That's 2 centers in power forward spots. A third center in Vooch at a nice price tag, playing big minutes against the Hornets. Looks great. You also get to pay up to an $8,300 Paul George. You're getting Tyler Hero playing 36 minutes a game as an underpriced guy. You're combining LaVine with Vooch in that good Charlotte spot. That lineup looks exceptional to me. Exceptional. This is unequivocally, compared to these past couple days, just by having that little bit of value, it just visually makes your lineup more appealing. We're not looking at that thinking like, oh shit, I got to get a decent day out of backup point guard, 18-minute a game Jalen Noel. Like, that's just not there. Let's run power rankings now, because that's where we'll see it. We're going to see it flatten out. I don't think any of the stars are going to really separate here, but they're all going to be pretty viable. Yeah, it's looking like Anthony Davis is my preferred pay-up option today on FanDuel. And I agree with it. He's just not the right price. He's 9,700 power forward center. He should be. That's not the right price tag for AD. Let's not forget, against a bad defense in Indiana and a massive pace spot. Yeah, Larry, I would not do that. If you wanted to tell me you wanted to do max 2 of 3, I can see it. But at the same time, I don't think it's crazy to think that all three can, like, if you, on a day like today, if that game goes to overtime and you get 40 minutes out of all three of them, I don't think you're mad that you have all three of them because of the matchup being Charlotte. Like, I think there's an opportunity to have just a crazy amount of fantasy points there. I would never do max 1 in that scenario. You can talk me into max 2. It's not a rule that I would set, though. All right. Power rankings. Very, very clearly, Ty Jerome jumps to the top of the list. Jonathan Kuminga 2, AD 3, Jordan Poole 4, LaMelo Ball 5. LaMelo Ball, I wish he would have showed up there like that for me 2 days ago. Vooch, Jared Allen, Tyler Hero, Zach LaVine, Paul George. See, that's what I mean here. We get the value at the top, but this is a very blurry. Look at the real actual guys in this list outside of the top 10. Vooch, 8K guy. Jared Allen is a real center. Hero, LaVine, George, Turner, Garland, Ingram, DeRozan, Drew Holiday, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic. We have the ability to basically get 2 or 3 like all-star-ish level players in every single lineup because of value today. Those are fun slates. So that's where we stand for FanDuel. Now let's look at DraftKings. I'm going to be honest, guys. I didn't think I was going to play today's slate. And I still don't know if I'm going to because I don't have a late show tonight. I'm not on the deeper dive. I'm not on live before lock. Generally speaking, when I'm not going to be on one of those shows, I try to avoid it. Try to do good things around the house. Spend some time with the wife. But this slate just looks like it's going to be a good time. Let's check out DraftKings now. Here we go. DraftKings optimals. Luka Doncic, 304.41. Optimal lineup by 0.73. Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine, Aaron Nesmith, Looney, Jerome, Kuminga, and Poole. Now, none of that is surprising to me. I get the Nesmith piece. I assume that you can randomize him pretty well. Like, you know, you drop down to that next lineup, you take out Mitchell and you take out Nesmith, you bring in Jared Allen and Dante DiVincenzo. Like, that all makes sense. I think this is going to look very similar where you get all this value at the top and then you have carte blanche to pick a bunch of legitimate NBA players to fill out the rest of your lineup. All right. I'm fascinated by this. This is a legitimately fun slate, guys. Like, I don't want overwhelming amounts of value on a slate because I think that's not fun either. But when you have enough, and it's varied enough on the Warriors, like if you're only getting 2 or 3 pieces, there's like 6 or 7 guys that you can get to. But if it just allows you to play guys with a pulse, it just makes your sweat more fun. Like, just let me cheer for these like 6 and 7K guys instead of 3 and 4K guys. I don't want to cheer for Jalen Noel. And who are the other idiots that were pulling up a bunch of ownership yesterday that like were wildly uninteresting? Who am I missing? Dumb. It was dumb dudes. Isaiah Joe yesterday. Yuck. You know what I mean? Like Josh Hart's ownership yesterday, at least projected early. Not fun. It's just like I don't want that garbage. Dyson Knicks was double-digit ownership yesterday. Dude's not good. All right. Power rankings for DraftKings. No surprise here. Kuminga almost caught him, but it's Ty Jerome at the top. Kuminga 2, Jordan Poole 3. Then look at that drop-off. 37, 37, 27, 18. So it's the 3K guys for the Warriors, then Poole as the like, okay, this guy gets to have a different role. And then we start getting into that list of names that looks like everybody. Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine, Luka Doncic, Darius Garland, Buddy Hield, Aaron Nesmith. Then you get, you know, Hero, DeMar, RJ Barrett, AD, Dinwiddie, Butler, Ingram, Murray. This slate looks great. I actually thought Kevon Looney would rank higher here. Fun slate. I'm going to end up playing this bad boy, even though I don't want to. 234 people in here right now. Love to see it. 119 likes, which means you guys hit that 50-50 mark. We'd be up over 230 if this was the case. The absolute best. The best in the game right now. Love to see it. Here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to get on out of here. Put this one to bed. I'm going to go ahead and record contenders. And then we're going to do a strategy show, myself and Adam, breaking down all 7 games. Then that's it for me. Now, I will have updates on my Twitter feed, so make sure you're following me at Josh Engleman. I'll have some prize picks out shortly. That video, I think, is going to start up on Monday, so get ready for that, too, if you're a prize picks person. Or even if you're a sports betting guy, you can get an idea of where I'm leaning for some props. I appreciate having you guys here. You're the absolute best. I love this show so much. One more day before we get a little bit of a reprieve for the weekend. Thank you for being here, everybody. Hit the like button on the way out the door. This was The Process.